from Shooting Star SVG back, and today I am going to go through an Etsy shop critique. So if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the like and subscribe below, as that does keep me motivated to continue making these videos so that way you can grow your business and change your life. If this is the first shop critique that you have stumbled upon, I will go through the layout of the particular designer's shop and everything that you could think of that is on their shop, as well as audit 2 to 3 listings to help increase sales and traffic on their store. Okay, and this is just feedback based off of the information that is readily provided to you in the Etsy Seller's Handbook and my personal experience selling on Etsy over the past 2 years. I feel like I've gotten a lot of information and research on search engine optimization, as well as how to utilize different tools in Etsy to expand my traffic and sales. And so I'm trying to impart some of that wisdom on you guys so that way you can be successful in your shops as well as you're starting off. So today we are going to be going through DesignerBlessingsxo shop today, and I'm going to go on over to my computer and we'll begin. So I do already have Donna's shop loaded, and she has a really nice banner here at the top. I will say that this logo is a bit busy. You really want to keep your logo kind of simple with your name and just maybe some small flourishes and whatever your color scheme is, maybe this blue that you use in the logo. It does look like she has sales and good reviews. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and favorite her shop. She does have her little one line here, and her announcement has not been updated in quite some time. So you may want to consider updating that. She does have her shop sections filled out, which is good. You may want to make these a little bit more specific. Obviously, paint by number is specific. Tangible products, I'm not sure what that is. Print and ship fast, I'm not sure what that is. We'll look into that in a little bit. But I would definitely recommend taking these digital download designs and expanding that into very specific shop sections, as those are kind of utilized as a tag on Etsy. She does have her featured items up here and all of her items listed. The first thing I'm noticing is that there is not a lot of consistency with the promo images. While the work is very beautiful, there is probably a better way on how you can promote this so people actually know what they're getting or what they're looking at. And it looks like, just scrolling through this first page, you have a lot of stuff. So what I'm seeing when I scroll through is clip art, and now I'm seeing a digital download. This looks to be some sort of wall art as well, and you have digital papers. You also have coloring prints, these banners, which I would just recommend taking off. You do have your extended commercial license, which is good. And we'll go through a few more pages in just a minute to see if I can provide some more feedback. But I guess what I'm getting at is it's not clear what your niche is or what you want your niche to be. So we probably should narrow that down, or consider separating the shops into 2 separate things, or you will not ever get some sort of brand awareness. So you have to think that when you're growing your brand, you want to focus on one niche at a time. You don't want to focus on multiple niches, because it's just going to make everything in your store muddled. So for example, I sell SVGs, and now that my SVGs have gotten to a point where I'm getting steady sales every month over month, I have now kind of focused my attention on sublimation designs and pattern creation, though it's not something I'm really loving right now. So I may be looking into something a little bit different, like coloring pages or some sort of printable, and I'll keep that in my shop, but I'll create separate sections for it that are very specific. That way the customer is not confused. I'm also considering that if I move away from sublimation designs, which is what I'm focused on right now, if I do decide to go down the path of coloring pages, I'm going to create an entirely separate shop for that. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying that that's something that you need to do, but if you are selling a multitude of products, you want to make sure that your shop sections are very specific, so that way you're not confusing the customer, okay? It looks like these reviews are good. You've had really good 5-star reviews. Oh boy. You get a 1-star review here that it looks like you responded to, and you did a great job responding to that. And this is actually one of the listings that I have chosen up here for the audit, so we can take a look at that as well, and see maybe how you can improve that. But it seems like you took the feedback from that review, and you're making some good sales on some things concurrently, which is good. I think that this feedback is really important to take, that the images are great, they just wish they were bigger and separate PNGs. So this is actually one of the listings that we're going to look over as well, so hopefully I can give you some good feedback on that as far as how you should be handling these particular clip arts, if you aren't already, okay? It does look like you have your shop sections filled out, you have your updates. Need to work on those policies, girlfriend. Get those policies in there, and get some FAQ up there, so that way people have a better idea of what they're expecting as far as the purchasing process and your refund policies and all that stuff. It's very important to outline that, because if you do not, and somebody has an issue, it's going to make things a little bit more difficult to defend if you don't have a refund policy in there, okay? And so if somebody was to file a claim against you for some reason and you don't have your policies filled out, you can't be like, oh, well, my policies say this. Well, they don't, because they're not filled out. Also, Etsy recommends that you fill out every section of your shop, and this helps them understand that you are not a robot, okay? So get those updated when you get an opportunity. All right, so now that we've gone through all the shop portions of things, I'm curious to click on this and see what this is all about. Yeah, I would get rid of this. I'm not sure what the purpose of tangible products is when this is clearly a digital product. Same thing with this. Get rid of this shop section. And the feast day decor, I'm not sure why this is separate by itself. I would also get rid of that, because it is another instant download. And I would not label this a monogram, because it doesn't have a split in it. It's just really alphabet. So you will get more traction on this if you name it what it is, which is an printable alphabet set. And I think you'll get some more traction on that if you are to go through and rename it. So we're going to go ahead and get into the listing critique. I went ahead and selected this paint by number to go through, and I see that you have it outlined here. You have what it would look like on the wall, and then you have another image here of coupon codes, which is good. To fill up your images, I do recommend throwing another additional mock-ups on there if you so wish. I'll sit here and tell you to do that all day long, but if you go look at my listings, I'm horrible and usually just have my promo listing and my sale listing. So I'm actively working on that right now. Your title does not look too bad. Paint by number, kit, DIY, woodland, fox, nursery, decor, instant download, gift set. It's a lot to swallow. If this was me, I would put paint by number, maybe digital, paint by number, woodland, fox, and that's it, and get rid of all these extra keywords, okay? It looks like your description is good. You do have a few materials in here, which is fine. Woodland fox print for you to paint or color, paint by number, so it is easy. It's great that you put your set directly in the listing. That's super important. I would recommend taking your title, posting that in the top of the description, putting the information of the bundle underneath it, and then get into this. That's how I would do it. Other than that, I think the description is well written. now we will get into the tags. So I do have you pulled up on Etsy Rank here. And we will see what we got here for tags. Paint by number kit, paint by numbers. Okay, so the paint by numbers you can remove. Fun fact, Etsy does take into consideration plurals when its customers are searching. So if somebody's searching for paint by number and that tag that you have is paint by numbers, it will also include paint by number, okay? So Etsy tags does include plurals. So you don't have to do paint by number and paint by numbers. It's a waste of one of your 13 tags. Color by numbers, color by number kit. So again, with the color by numbers, I would just keep it as color by number kit, delete the color by numbers, new paint by number set, acrylic paint set, painting by numbers, new paint by numbers. So you're repeating the same tags over and over. You want to be more specific because Etsy, again, does include plurals, but also if you put fox in there 17 times, it's unneeded. You only need to put fox in there one time. And if it's a part of a long tail keyword for somebody to get an exact query on their search, then it's okay to put in there. However, you want to minimize the amount of repeats because basically Etsy's algorithm will get it after one, okay? I would work on the tags a little bit, and if you need help, let me know. I'm more than happy to help out. But it is getting views and it is good at getting sales, so just keep that in mind. It's not doing horribly with the tags that you have now. It can just do better with different tags and utilizing that 13 tag space that you have, okay? So there's that one. This one had a lot of good traction on it, okay, which is fantastic, and you have some good images in here. But what's a little disconcerting is these are pretty muddled. What I would recommend for that first promo image, I mean, you're offering 30 obviously, is maybe take like 5 or 6 of these and put them on a front image with a banner and kind of like just create this almost like overlay effect. Like I can see it in my mind. I'd have to like maybe send you a copy, and I can do that in Messenger. Send you a copy of what I'm thinking. You know, if you're willing to offer me a couple of the PNG files, just so I can kind of show you what I'm thinking in my mind as far as what would look good on that first image, and then kind of like add some other images showcasing it. So you do that here, which I mean these are just absolutely beautiful, and you show some of the designs on coffee mugs and what that would look like on stationaries and different things like that. So that's good. I continue to recommend doing that. I mean, this is just beautiful stuff, and if I recall correctly, Donnie, you do create these you know, all by hand, so you're very, very talented. This is not something that I could personally do. I'm just not that skilled. So looking at your title here, 30 plus vintage retro 50-60 sewing pattern clip art, PNG fashion ladies, scrapbooking art, collage sheets, digital collage. All right. So your title is totally keyword stuffed, and we don't need to do that. I think I've said this in every video that I've created so far when I'm doing these critiques. We don't need to keyword stuff. Etsy hates keyword stuffing. If you go read the seller's handbook, Etsy is like, just keep your title simple, y'all. So that's what we need to do. We need to think of a way to keep this very simple. So somehow take some of the main keywords that you're utilizing in your listing and make your title around that. Oh, good God. I'll just edit that out. So in this case, I would not need to put 30 plus in there because you can include that in your description. I would put in like vintage retro sewing pattern fashion ladies clip art. That's it. That's all I would put in the title, and then take the rest of the stuff out of the title and put it in the tags. Okay, so we want to work on the promo images a little bit. Definitely need some work on the title if you want to get up in the search rank. Okay, without seeing what these files are, all right, they got you a 4-star rating because they thought the images were fantastic, but they wish that they were bigger and separate PNGs. So what that tells me is what you're offering is one sheet, but we'll see if you put that in your in your description. So again, once you fix that title, put that in here at the top of the description. And yeah, I mean, this is fine. You do mention that it comes as a full page JPEG image and also separate PNG images in a zip file. So it sounds like you already have taken the feedback from the previous review and are providing these in PNG. So what I would recommend is that you take the PNG files, okay, and talk about how big they are, because if they're 2 inches by an inch, like, that's, people may or may not want that. It may not work for what they're trying to do. So you definitely want to mention the size, because if you don't do that, it's really gonna like cause problems customer service wise. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the tags here. Okay, here we go. Vintage clip art, scrapbooking art, digital collage, retro collage. We don't need to mention collage twice. Fashion women, retro fashion, fashion ladies. Okay, yeah, we don't have to mention that again. Women clip art, vintage women, collage sheet, retro clip art, cut and paste women, planner accessories. Planner accessories is good. You may want to mention something about, vintage clip art is good. Definitely want to work on our tags. We repeat a lot, but I don't think they're horrible. I think it's a good start. I would definitely utilize something like Etsy Rank or Marmalade to find some keywords that would fit well with this, okay? Overall, it's a good effort. I mean, you're getting views, you're getting traction. You will continue to get views and traction. You're just going to want to work on the title and the tags, tweak the tags a little bit. I'm not saying change them completely. There's just a lot of repeats in here, and so it's taking up tag space, and you can utilize that to be visible in more searches. So good work on that. Okay, so this is interesting. I presume that this Cicely Mary Barker Flower Fairies is public domain. So I did just do a quick Google search to see what I could find on this Cicely Mary Barker artwork. And I would definitely tread carefully, make sure whatever you're utilizing is in the public domain. Anything before 1923 published date is in the public domain per public domain definition. And I'm not sure if this Flower Fairies is, I presume it is. I would just be careful, okay? This may not be something you want to provide in your shop because it's a little iffy. You are utilizing somebody else's artwork for sale on your shop, and it's a really fine line to be at, okay? Regardless, we're going to take a look at this. It looks like what you've done, if I'm looking at this correctly, is you have taken the artwork and grayscaled it so people can color the images in, which is quite clever. And you've seen what that looks like. This looks like her original work, I'm presuming, what her original work looks like, and what it looks like after colored, which is what you've done here. So that is good. Again, I would work on these promo images because you can see your thumbnails cut off. These are going to be cut off when they're in search, okay? The title, again, is keyword stuffed. So I would just keep it simply at Cicely Mary Barker Flower Fairies coloring pages. And that's it. Take the rest of these and put them in your tags if they're not already there. Copy and paste your title into the description. You do mention that they're grayscale images, which is good. You've provided a color image to go by it if you choose to do the original colors. Okay, interesting. I like it. So the description's good. The next thing we're going to look at is the tags. So you can see that it's gotten some views here. You, Cicely Mary Barker, Flower Fairy, Digital Fairy, Fairy Printables. You're repeating fairy quite a bit. Flower Fairies, which is actually what this is, so I would keep that tag. Printable coloring, grayscale coloring, fantasy coloring, adult coloring pages, fairies coloring, grayscale fairies, alphabet fairies. Not too bad of an effort on tags. I would put something in there maybe about flowers, maybe floral coloring pages, printable coloring pages, things that people are going to be searching for, right? So you really have to put your mindset there in the eyes of the customer and try to figure out what they're going to be searching for. If they're looking for something like this, or if they're looking for coloring pages, how are you going to show up in the top of their search results? Okay. Overall, good effort on the tags. I'm impressed. And good work on the shop. But what I'm trying to figure out right now is the connection. Okay. It looks like you have a lot of different things here. You have SVGs, you have printables, you have clip art, you have coloring pages, you have several different types of things, and you may want to consider separating things. Okay, you may want to consider separating your SVGs from your coloring pages from your clip art. Okay, or you may want to consider creating shop sections that are specific to each one of these things. That way it is not so muddled, because right now I can't tell what your niche is. And so for you to get some more sales, Donna, you really need to focus on one thing and expand from there, or just separate it up into sections, and that will help, because there's no consistency here. Your promo images need work. There's no consistency. There isn't like a logo that you have stamped really on anything. And so for you to build brand awareness, for people to understand like what your niche is and what your selling is, you really want to make sure that you have a clear and concise logo, and that your promo images are reflective of that in some way, shape, or form. You're going to want to work on your promo image sizing, which I do have a video up on Etsy thumbnails and Etsy listing sizes, so that should be able to help you. In some cases, some of these things, I mean, you're paying 20 cents for listing this listing banner every time, and is it selling? I don't know. That's something that you're going to have to answer. You do have your sales turned on. I'm going to go ahead and click it. I didn't realize, and we'll see what you're selling. So it's kind of all over the place, but you can see that you are selling a mixture of SVGs, your clip art, and your letters. So that's good. I mean, you're making sales. So you should be happy about that. And you are selling these Flower Fairies coloring pages, which is awesome. So I would think working on the title and tags like I recommended is going to bump that up in the sales. I think that the same thing is going to speak true for these clip art images, and also just want to look into mentioning the size of these in the PNG so people understand how big they are. Okay, and that's all I'm going to go through on your sales. You may want to consider turning that off, and I have a video on that I will post up above. So overall, I think this is a really good effort. I would definitely work on the logo, making your shop sections, there we go, shop sections a little bit more detailed as far as what you have to offer. Definitely want to separate out the SVGs versus coloring pages versus printable wall art versus clip art. Okay, maybe just consider making those all shop sections, which are also considered tags, and then maybe trying to figure out a different way to showcase the work in your promo images, and I'm more than happy to work with you on that. And as far as like what I see and envision in my mind, or what I would do if I was providing the same type of product. Aside from that, your price points look good. They don't look bad. You may want to consider raising your price a little bit for some of these larger packs, but for the most part, they're good. And just keep up the good work, work on the titles and the tags just a little bit, and just kind of keep going from there. If you have any questions about the critique, you drop a comment in the video, or head on over to Facebook and ask some specific questions so that way other people can learn. And if you're still watching and you haven't already, go ahead and click on the like and subscribe below, as that keeps me motivated to continue making these videos, so that way you can grow your business and change your life. If y'all need anything at all, feel free to drop a comment here or head on over to the Facebook group where you can comment, and I am more than happy to answer, or somebody in the group will be more than happy to answer, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.